I want to be top 10. I think early last year I'll be top 10 before the year's out, like the year before last year, I don't know. But then I remember saying last year I'm going to be the champion, 2019. It was looking like, well, they're going to make this happen to 2020. I was like, fuck, oh yeah, I've got a goal. And that was my goal, but it's going to happen. I get to tick that goal. Next year, mate, I'm looking to be the greatest featherweight of all time. So a lot of people are twisting my words and saying that, oh, I'm looking through Max and I want a rematch. I was actually saying that, you know, I'm looking to be the greatest featherweight, and if I have to beat him again, then that's what I'll do to prove to the world that I'm the greatest featherweight of all time.
What do you think in your book it takes to prove that?
Mate, to beat Max Holloway. Obviously, he's right up there, and for people, if I beat him, people are probably going to say he's out of his prime, which is just stupid. You know, they're always going to doubt you and make excuses. But I mean, or they might say I got lucky. So if I have to do it again, I'll do it again. I'll be there again, and that's my goal next year. Then after that, let's look at pound for pound rankings and greatest fighter pound for pound in the world. So we'll see. But the next goal is obviously get that belt. Goal after that, greatest featherweight of all time.
Can you tell us how the suit budget has changed from the time you came into the UFC till now?
Well, you know, since people were calling me on too, it's like, oh yeah, is that from? They even knew the exact place I actually bought it from. So I remember. But yeah, now I'm getting, you know, it's good. So the guys are looking after me, and I didn't know if I was going to wear a suit this trip, but they said they were going to men's club actually hook me up. And they were like, oh, we'll do one. I'm like, all right, let's go. And then they dressed me and very happy with it. So, but I won't be suited up for the fight. So I get to be a little bit more, something bit different. It's going to look good though, so keep an eye out for that.
Getting MMA media to asking, who are you wearing?
Exactly right. Yeah.
So is it
Not yet.
a little bit of jealousy not being able to be on this card? It's such a big event.
Look, not really.
Because there's the aim at the end of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't say there's jealousy there. Like, I'm happy that I get to watch.
Yeah.
And I get to be, look at the card that I get to be on at the end of the year in Vegas.
Yeah.
So obviously I've already, you know, everyone this side of the world knows who I am. Like I really want the world to know, and obviously fighting Max anywhere in the world would do that.
Yeah.
Fighting this card as well, that you know that could have just made this a real blockbuster event.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a cracker of a card.
Yeah.
But now I get to be on, you know, that 3 title fights end of the year, you know, and I'm one of them. And the whole world's going to be watching. I'm going to steal the show.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Alex, mate, we've been training with the CKB for a few weeks now, and all those boys have been prepping well. Obviously, big news for you and for your partners in there.
Yeah, big news. Yeah, obviously I'm fighting for that world title, but that's still a while away. So it was good to help the boys at City Kickboxing prepare for their fights. This camp, you know, they're always helping me. Obviously, I train out of Freestyle Fight. I'm local here in Australia, but I go there for my camps, and they're always helping me with my camp. So I actually got to do 3 weeks over there, evolve my game, but help them with their camps. And they're all looking really good. So I can't wait to see them perform. And I still got 10 weeks to prepare. So I'll be back there at City Kickboxing, and we'll definitely be prepared for the fight.
And all those, there's so many gyms around that you could train at. Why choose CKB? What's special about them?
Well, it's pretty obvious now to see why I train there as well. Obviously, again, I base out of Freestyle Fighter Gym with my coach Joe Lepers, but sometimes you need that. You need a different sort of look, and obviously different trainer partners as well. So we don't have a massive gym back home, so I need to go to places like Tiger Muay Thai and City Kickboxing. I believe City Kickboxing is just on another level when it comes to striking and then your game planning and all that sort of stuff. And we're actually proving it. So it's pretty obvious. I think the whole world knows who City Kick, what that gym is and what it's about. So, and there's such a good structure towards how they approach, the team sort of atmosphere, everything about it. It's actually pretty incredible, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of CKB fighters that'll be fighting. You've got Kai and Neil with you as well in December 14th. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, Kai, mate. We always knew that he was going to be killing it, you know what I mean? So it took him a while to get in. He should have been in a little bit earlier, but obviously he's in. He's 3-0 now, and you're getting to see it. And you're still seeing nothing of what he can do. So obviously he'll get that little bit more confidence in there and really work. I reckon you start seeing some finishes very soon, and he's going to be a star.
You've seen how that gym's grown over the years, and you've been there a couple of times now. So, what is it do you think that makes the Kiwis so interested in fighting?
Well, they've always been like the kickboxing scene in New Zealand's always been very big, and they've always had big fighters over there, and they've always had a good style, and I think that again, it's always been there. I really do, but now the world's sort of starting to see that how many, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great champions, mate, it's funny, like we go train there at City Kickboxing, and you get all these guys coming in, and obviously I'm not really understanding the game and their approach to how how they approach the fights and all that, like that sort of style that they have over there in New Zealand. And you get all these old fellas I've never seen before, and they're all just absolute geniuses when it comes to fighting. You know, they're all so clever, and I get to all the same like lineage. You know, they all come from the same lineage, and it's just you really see it. So I'm getting these guys I've never met before, and they're like, oh yeah, boom, 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 and they're totally making sense. I'm like, far out. These guys know what they're talking about, and it's just So it's always been big in New Zealand, and now the world's starting to see that.
And more fans kind of coming to you and saying they wish you were fighting on this card. I think it was kind of the ideal, right? That's what everyone was hoping for. Have you got a lot of that around this fight week?
Yeah, we did. So I was asking for this as well. Did I think it was definitely going to happen? Probably not. But I mean, it's still a good card. I wish I was on it. That probably would have added. Me and Max being on this card, it probably would have been really, really good. But I get to be on a cracking card at the end of the year. Obviously, 3 title fights. That we're going to have a lot of people tuning in for that. And like I said, I'm gonna steal the show.
A lot of people have been saying that you are a terrible matchup for Max Holloway on paper. I've seen it everywhere, really. A lot of people are saying this. You must believe that yourself.
Oh, 100%. And I know that. So I know I'm a terrible matchup, and I've always known that. Maybe these people are starting to jump on board because they've seen him lose and they know he's not invincible, but it's even deeper than that. Just his style and his game that he's so good at. And don't get me wrong, it's very effective. And I use that as well in my fights. But that obviously doesn't work with me. He can't approach this fight the way he has. And he probably still will because he's such a gamer. But I mean, if he's going to come at me like that and think he can grind me down and punch me in volume and outstrike me like that, he's got another thing coming. Obviously I'm very powerful, and if he's going to come at me like that and I get to sit on my punches, I hit very hard. And if you're going to do all the work for me and let me, obviously the shots are going to be there, the power, the punches, the overhands, you name it. I get to just play what's in front of me and I get to enjoy this fight. Obviously it's going to be a tough one. Like I said, it's going to be still back and forth. I still think that. I know I'm going to land some big shots and he's still going to come at me, but I think his game, he'll realise that it's not going to work with me pretty early in that fight.
It doesn't feel so long ago that I was interviewing you on the phone and we're kind of speaking about I need to get these opportunities to go and fight in the US, and look at the situation you're in now. I mean, it's happened pretty quickly, although it must have felt at the time that it was moving very slowly.
Yes, it has. Yeah, you're right. So it was like that where I'm like, there was just this time where I was like, oh, I need a ranked opponent. I want to start fighting over there. And then all of a sudden, boom, bang, bang, bang. And then now, you know what I mean? Within 3 fights, I went from not being ranked to #1 contender fighting for the world title. So it just shows you, like, this is a crazy sport that we're in. Anything can happen. Like, you know what I mean? You could go both directions very quickly. You could go, it can get pretty negative pretty quickly. And that's what's so, it's a roller coaster ride. We do say that, but, I'm going to capitalize on every opportunity I have. And I'm always going to be prepared, especially fighting. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to be more than ready for any fight. Even if I know I could take someone out in 1 minute, I'm going to be prepared to go all the rounds in all angles. I don't care if I know I'm going to outstrike this guy. I'll make sure I'm doing the wrestling. If I, same vice versa. I'm always preparing for the worst. I'm always preparing for anything that can happen. I'm even preparing for them to get injured and someone else come in. You know what I mean? So that's why I always work on my game. So if something like that was to happen, I'll be ready. I'll be prepared. I'll be mentally prepared. And, I don't let things break me because so many things can break you in this sport, but I won't let it happen.
I can remember after your last fight, it was a very scary situation. We were kind of going back and forth with your management. We didn't know what the situation was initially. And was that very scary to be in that situation? I mean, on the plane, I think you were in Costa Rica for quite a while. Yep. Was it Costa Rica?
Chile. I ended up in Chile. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, exactly what I was just saying, a roller coaster ride. Yeah. So I went from fight week, cutting weight, which fucking sucks. Sorry for my language, but as everyone knows, that's so that's pretty negative type of thing. But then you win, you beat the greatest featherweight of all time, or one of, in Aldo. So you're on absolute high, ranked #1, and then on your way home, you get this infection in your leg, and there's obviously they'll onto it, and you never know what's going to happen. You could lose limbs, you can die, you never really know. Obviously, we got onto it pretty early, but luckily things went all right. Like it could have been a lot worse. So I ended up stopping in Chile. Luckily, I went to Chile before I went back home. I already done a stopover before that as well. So usually you would do a stopover and go head all the way. If I was on a 12-hour flight and with that, and I was actually on that plane and they had to go halfway and then try and turn back or, probably try, it could have been real serious. And that's when it would have got all through my blood. And by then it would have rocked me pretty hard, and it could have killed you. You could lose limbs. But luckily, I actually stopped in Chile, and actually Chile had a really good hospital. It was one of the best in South America, so I'm glad I stopped there. So it come at a good time. But by that time, even that 3-hour flight, that was the longest flight I've ever fucking been on. I'll tell you that. It was only 3 hours, and it felt like it was 20 hours. And I was on like 40+ degree temperatures and all that. And I was away from the family. I just wanted to get home. I'm a family man. And I just wanted to get home, and being stuck there and then hearing all this sort of shit. And then actually getting told about the fucking Frankie Edgar taking the shot, you know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? It's just roller coaster.
An extra good shot there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, mate, roller coaster. But I'm really good in these situations. I always stay positive. I was like, all right, obviously it sucked, you got that shot, but I'm like, there's still a good chance I fight end of the year and, whatever, you know what I mean? So I just let it go, and I didn't let it get to me. And now I've still got that chance to knock off that goal to get B champion 2019.
You mentioned, when you mentioned Aldo there, you said one of the greatest featherweights of all time. Who do you have as the GOAT?
Yeah, well, see, it's a tricky one. Everyone's different. It
really is. It's like a three-way debate nearly.
I have to go with Aldo. I really do. Like, obviously, people they forget real quick. Yeah. You lose and they forget, and they, a very unforgiving sport we're in. But I do believe, like, he was a champion for so long, and think how many title defenses and how long he was undefeated for. Look, Max is a great champion. Yeah, he beat Holloway. I mean, yeah, he beat Aldo, but. You know what I mean? Obviously, the time is evolving and stuff like that. Yeah, the game's changing. Aldo is still very good, still in really good nick, but the game's evolving, and there's a few of us that showed the world that. And Max is one of them. And but I mean, in saying that, Max, I still don't think he's done as much as Aldo in the division. Take me out, then I might think twice, but it ain't going to happen. So I'm going to unfortunately have to ruin that for him again. I've got a lot of respect for him. He's a great champion. He had that blessed era, but that changes, and that all ends December 14th.
Just finally, I know you used to play rugby. Are you tuned into the Rugby World Cup, or is it a different kind of rugby you played?
Yeah, rugby league. I played rugby league, so I'm staying in New Zealand the last 3 weeks for their camp. That's all they talk about, because it's I can't say that. I was about to say that's the only sport they're good at. Because I know they're rugby. They don't care about rugby. Rugby league's a bit bigger, where I am, especially in New South Wales. So over there, they don't really care for it, because obviously rugby's so big because they're so good at it. So that's a little joke we have at the gym before the New Zealanders hate me. But no. So I'm not a massive fan, but I mean, I know they're going good, and obviously they're expected to win. When is that? Or has that already been?
It's I think Australia are playing Saturday, and then New Zealand are playing Sunday after the fight.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh wait, is that for the World Cup as well?
Yeah, it's still in the group stages though, so it's not a knockout situation.
Far out. I was thinking, we got the NRL Grand Final, we got the fights. It's a big time in the sports for Australia right now.
Is it hard for this to compete with it because of that? Do you think, because there's so many, the national sports seem to take so much focus?
It's weird. Because there's so much buzz around sports, I don't know. I think it can still all chime in together. Like, obviously, we're in early in the morning, because we've got to go for the American time, so that helps. I know everyone that I know, all my mates are going to be watching the UFC all day, and then get on the piss and all day, and then stay on the piss and watch the grand final, and who knows where they end up. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's all right. I don't think it's that big. Obviously, I reckon it can help. Again, everyone's just right now talking about sports, and they're in that sports atmosphere the last couple of weeks, and maybe it adds. I don't know, or maybe they are taking a bit of shine away. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Thanks so much.
We'll see. Fight day. We'll see if everyone's talking about it.